everyone, and welcome to the next part in the series of Learn with Space. On 31st October 2020, we are going to celebrate Halloween. And you might have noticed that on that day, we have a full moon in the sky. So, a scary night and a full moon in the sky. A perfect combination for a lot of myths and misconception to go around. And that's what has been in the news these days. You might have heard about this that on 31st of October it is going to be a blue moon. The full moon that we are going to see on the night of 31st October, people are calling it blue moon. So what exactly is the blue moon? Is it going to turn blue like this? Have you ever seen like this? I mean, this is going to be a really, really rare phenomenon. But before that, is it really going to happen? Is the moon going to turn blue? In this video, we are going to find out that what exactly is going to happen on the night of 31st October and will the moon turn blue or not? So stay tuned with me. I, Tarun, welcome you to this episode of Learn with Space. Before we go ahead and learn that what will happen on the night of 31st October, let's see some of the common terms associated with the full moon. You might have heard about pink moon, strawberry moon, red moon, wolf moon, snow moon, white moon, milk moon, and there are so many more names given to the moon. And you might have heard a lot of stories, you might have read a lot of articles on the internet talking about them. You might have seen a lot of photographs just like this, and you might have wondered that is it really true? Does it really happen? Does the moon actually turn blue or pink or green or red or milky white? Does it happen? The answer, my friend, is no. The moon does not turn pink or green or milky white. But yes, it shows you some other shades under special condition. We'll talk about that towards the end of the video. First, let's come back to the full moon of 31st October. So, the blue moon that we are seeing, on that night, the moon will not become blue in color. It is just a term that we use to specify something that happens very rarely. You might have heard a saying that says once in blue moon, which says something that happens rarely. And that is different from the regular thing, normal things. So, how did this term associate with the full moon? Let's understand that. So, under normal circumstances in a whole year, you will see that there are 12 months. So, in every month there is going to be a new moon and a full moon. So, in the whole year, you will have 12 new moons and 12 full moons. By full moon, I mean when the moon is a complete circle in the sky, right? But when you notice the days in the month of a Western calendar or the Gregorian calendar that we use, it has 30 or 31 days, whereas the lunar month or the lunar cycle is of 29.5 days. So obviously there is going to be a difference of days between a lunar year and the Gregorian year. Because of this, every 2.5 to 3 years, we will have an extra full moon to compensate for the difference between lunar year and the Gregorian year. And this results in an extra full moon in a year. Like, for example, under normal circumstances, you have 12 full moons, we have 4 seasons, so every season we are going to have 3 full moons. Pretty simple, right? But in the year, when we have 13 full moons, one of the seasons will have 4 full moons. Alright? So when you have such a condition, when we have 4 full moons in one season, the third full moon of that season is called as blue moon. Okay? And how did this term come into the picture? Earlier times, people used to keep a track of their festivals, their life, the calendar bases the moon, okay, with respect to the lunar dates. They notice that after a gap of almost 3 years, they get this extra full moon. And if they celebrate with respect to this full moon, their festivals will be off by a lot of days, right? Which will be against the common tradition that they had been following. This is what is a seasonal blue moon. When you have four full moons in a season, an astronomical season, the third full moon of that season, we call it as the blue moon. But note that the moon will not turn blue. It will show its true color, okay? Its surface color would be grayish, and when you see it from the earth, it will look as gray and white, just like it is shown over here. These days, a different definition is used to show or to explain that what a blue moon is. Scientifically, that is incorrect, but it actually happened because of a mistake. So in 1946, James Hugh Pruitt decided to explain this phenomena of blue moon, and he wrote an article in the magazine Sky and Telescope. And mistakenly, he wrote that the second full moon in a single month is known as the blue moon. Now, normally the month is of 30 or 31 days, right? So normally you will have one new moon and one full moon. But again, every 2.5 to 3 years, there will be a month where you will have two full moons or two new moons in a month. Okay. So in case you have two full moons in a single month, the second full moon, we call it as the blue moon. Now, if we talk about the month of October, we had full moon on 1st of October, and we are going to have the second full moon on 31st of October. And that is the reason that it is called as the blue moon. Now, although it was a mistake, but it kind of caught up with the public, and it remained like that only. So now we have two definitions. One is a seasonal blue moon and one is a monthly blue moon. Okay, so I hope you're clear about the blue moon now, right? So on 31st of October, is the moon going to turn blue? Absolutely not, right? But still, it's Halloween, so celebrate it and have fun. But hold on, the moon still can change and show us different colors under special circumstances. Like in 1883, the whole world could see the moon in blue shade. The moon actually turned blue in year 1883. That happened because of a volcanic eruption in Indonesia. Now the particles which were ejected out of the eruption, they were of a particular size which made sure that the red light was scattered and only blue light could filter out. So that is why we could only see the blue color of the light that was being reflected from the moon. So for almost 2 years, people from all over the world could see the blue moon in the sky. And similarly, you can see the red moon as well if the particles are of a different size. Another special circumstance is when the moon turns red, and that is a possibility. Okay, it can happen on two occasions. Number one, when the moon is very close to the horizon, and it happens every night. It doesn't have to happen only on the night of the full moon. Okay, the reason is our atmosphere contains such particles that while the objects are near the horizon, they will appear red. Just like our sun appears orangish red while it is just rising or about to set. The same way, the moon will also turn reddish color while it is rising and while it is setting. Okay, but as soon as it goes above the horizon at quite a height, you will notice that red color has gone. Okay, the second occasion when the moon can turn red is when there is a total lunar eclipse. Now, during the totality, what happens that the moon hides behind the shadow of the earth, right? It is completely covered by the shadow of the earth. So ideally, it should not be visible to us, right? It should disappear from our sky. But something else happens. Because of the atmosphere of the earth, when the sunlight passes through that atmosphere, the blue light is diverted away from the moon and the red light falls on the moon. And then it gets reflected towards the earth, thus showing the moon reddish in color. And that's what we call as the blood moon or the red moon. So these are the only two occasions or during a volcanic eruption when the moon can show you different color. Otherwise, there is no way that your moon will show you different color. So next time when you hear the term blue moon, so don't expect to see a blue moon in the sky. It will look like this only, but it is the second full moon of a single month or the third full moon of a season with four full moons, right? And you know, it is not a very common phenomena. I told you that they happen every 2.5 to 3 years. And if you talk about a blue moon on 31st October, that happens every 19 years only. So if you want to celebrate Halloween night on a blue moon, this is your chance. Because if you miss out, you'll not get the chance for next 19 years. Not just blue moon or red moon, there are different names given to the full moons. That is as per the culture of different civilizations. And they are related to our life and environmental condition. You will see that full moon of each month has been given a name and you can easily see its relation with our surrounding and our environment condition. Like the January full moon is known as the full wolf moon. The reason being that is the period when the wolf pack come out and howls a lot. Okay, then the February month, it is known as the snow moon because of the heavy snow during that month. The March full moon is known as full warm moon. The reason being earthworms come out of their hiding, okay, because the snow has started to melt. The full moon in month of April is known as pink moon. The reason being the blossoming of pinky flowers known as phlox in the area. Okay. Then the full moon of May is known as flower moon because of the flowers blossoming all around us. And the next full moon is known as strawberry moon. So does the moon turn strawberry? No. It's just that it is the season of strawberry. Okay. The next one is known as buck moon, then the sturgeon moon, and similarly the full moon of each month has been given a name basis the conditions and the situation in those months. So I hope that you learned a new thing with this video and I hope you loved it. And if you want to learn astronomy, click on the link in the description. So with this, I sign off and see you in the next video. Until then, wish you all clear skies.